Heyo, it's Omnidog here. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for tuning in to my overview, read through, review, whatever, of Trials of X, the anthology series that leads up to Destiny of X. And as always, please go to Organic Price Books, $2 off with code Omnidog, and 5% off. Should be 4 more books together with code Omnidog. Sit. So, we got a pile of books here, and I'm just going to hit the highlights because I don't want to make this a 90-minute video. But I will say that while I liked Reign of X, I loved Trials of X. There were lots of good stories in this book, this series rather. I'm going to start out with the highlight because maybe you tune out after 5 minutes, so stick around because I'm going to start with the best thing in Trials of X, and it starts with Trial of Magneto. He has been accused of killing Scarlet Witch, his daughter. This is by Leah Williams, and this is easily one of the best things she's ever written and one of the most fun, engaging, twisty-turny X-Men books that I've read, X-Men stories. There, there is a voice. Leah Williams has the voice perfectly for each character. I cannot stress enough how much fun all 5 issues of Trial of Magneto are, and where it takes you, and how the end result happens is, as they say, wait, where's my mask? So I can do it on my mask. Chef's kiss. This is such a strong story. I could read this over and over again, and Leah Williams needs to be given applause because she gets the voices right, the action right, the feeling right. Everything goes exactly where you think it's going to go until she flips the script and you have no idea what just happened until you figure it out. That's exactly where she was leading you. So kudos to Ms. Williams, who wrote the best thing in Trials of X, which was Trials of Magneto. Let's see. This book, Trials of X Volume 2. What did I highlight here? Cable Reloaded is good by Al Ewing. And this also features more Trial of Magneto and Wolverine. I'll speak about Wolverine in a second. But Cable Reloaded, Al Ewing, is a pretty boss story. I really dug it. Volume 3. You see sassy Mr. Sinister there, but that's not what I'm highlighting. I'm talking about how well Jerry Duggan is continuing to write X-Men. Oh, I have another bookmark there. Jerry Duggan is continually doing a good job on X-Men. Very smart writing, very engaging story, and I really dug it all. I think you will too. And what's this? Hellions. Zeb Wells, God bless you. Hellions is one of the best things in the Krakoa era, if not the best thing. And it features a little bit of subterfuge by Psylocke, but she has her reasons. And of course, Nanny is great as always. And there's a lot going on in Hellions. It's one of the best things you can read in the Krakoa era. It just features, it's funny, sassy Mr. Sinister, as I said. Also, a big jerk Mr. Sinister, which cannot surprise anybody. But Zeb Wells continues to do really well on Hellions, and that, I'm sure, is going to be some of the people's favorite books. On to Trials 4 and X-Force by Benjamin Percy. X-Force is solid, really keeps you wanting. This story in particular I thought was really well done. It I'm not going to tell you any of things that go on in it. I'm just going to tell you why I like it. I like this one because it got all the key characters engaged as a unifying force. Of course, Domino's boss, and they're featuring some form of man thingish type thing, and X Force has just continually been really quality written. I dig it. And just so you know, there's chapters of everything in all of these books, but I'm going to talk about everything as we go along. Trials of X, Volume 5. Onslaught Revelations is where Cy Spurrier ties up the Way of X run. Way of X started out a little slowly for me. I should have known that Cy Spurrier would make it epic because Cy Spurrier knows how to write and knows what he's doing. He brings in Legion to great success. I thoroughly enjoyed X-Men The Onslaught Revelation as the finishing piece to Way of X, and wow, I did not expect this at all because I thought Way of X kind of meandered in the beginning. I should have trusted Cy Spurrier more. Apologies, Mr. Spurrier. Peace and love. Obviously, you know what you're doing. Quite good. Way of X into Onslaught Revelation. Now, besides the love I have for Hellions and Trial of Magneto, Jerry Duggan doing a great job. The book for me right now, the whole series, Legion, I'm going to say Trials of Magneto is only 5 issues, but Marauders, come on, Jerry Duggan and Phil Noto. Does Phil Noto get enough credit for being one of the bossest artists around? Am I prejudiced because Kate Pryde and Emma feature so strongly in this? Yeah. Does he draw them well? Yeah. Is it great? Yeah. Marauders is strong throughout the whole thing. Jerry Duggan does a great job. I'm in this particular, in Trials of X, the Marauders steal a pirate's ship, space pirate's ship, and it goes about how he goes about trying to get it back. They get it back from him. They get help from Sebastian Shaw, of all people. This issue in particular, what issue is it? Marauders 25. Wow. I don't even have words. Just look at this cover. That was the cover for this issue. It's amazing. And yeah, I'm prejudiced. Kate Pryde's a badass. Emma's a badass. Everybody on the team's a badass. And I loved it. I almost am positive you guys will love it too. Trials of X, Volume 7. Uh-oh. What's that dude doing on the cover? Well, we'll turn to New Mutants, which is written by Vita Ayala. And New Mutants, yes, it features one of my other faves, Magic. But this, while New Mutants may have started out a little slowly, it finishes really strongly in Trials of X. I thought Vita Ayala did a really good job of wrapping it up and going deep into the psyche of our bad guy. And let me just say, for once, X-Men seems to have this particular font. I don't know what it is. Whatever this lettering is, it's all through the X-Men. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but wow, the lettering just really makes it interesting. I love the lettering. Very clean, easy to read all throughout all the stories. So kudos to the letterers and, of course, to the colorers. But New Mutants finishes very strongly in this issue. Yeah, buddy. When we come up on Trials of X, Volume 8, I think I'm talking about that book. When am I talking about that book? I think maybe I can talk about it right now because I do not have a whole lot of experience. And when I say whole lot, I mean none. I have no experience with Excalibur. So the Excalibur I've read has just been in the Krakoa era. And I really like the character of Betsy Braddock. I really like the Otherworld stuff. I love how there's like a council of Captain Britons. There's King Arthur. There's Merlin. There's Mordred. There's all kinds of antics. Teenie Howard does a really good job. I was never interested in Excalibur before, but I'm very interested in it now and really, really like these stories. And Psylocke's in it too. So that's not bad. That's good. Yeah, and I think Betsy Braddock is just written really well here. I have zero experience with it, as I said, but it kept me interested and engaged, and I loved it. So kudos to Vita Ayala for making me interested in Excalibur. Anything else here I should talk about? Oh. This contains... this is the book, the story that has the adamantium surfboard. Okay, it's a story. The adamantium surfboard for Wolverine. Up until that point, I've enjoyed Wolverine a lot in this Krakoa era. Benjamin Percy has done a good job throughout this era. I'm not going to say any more about the surfboard. Trials of X Volume 9. What have I got highlighted? Sword by Al Ewing. This was really well written because it had twists and turns that I didn't expect. And I'm not the sharpest tool in the board. Sharpest tool in the drawer. See, I can't even get my little tropes specialized. But oh my God, here's more of this. Wait, what in the hell? I forgot about this. Oh yeah. Okay, whatever. Sword is really good throughout, and Sword is written by Al Ewing. Is really good throughout. It's much. I feel it's much different, has a different tone than the other stories, but that doesn't keep me from enjoying it. And then there's Trials of X, Volume 10, Hellions, Excalibur, Marauders, New Mutants, X-Men. I've already talked about how great all these books are. This is the final story in Trials of X. A lot of threads come together, and it's a really good book all on its own. Anything with Marauders and Hellions in it, heck yeah. And Excalibur, yeah, this is a good book. And New Mutants, because I dug New Mutants. It was done very well. Farouk. You've been figured out. So, that's it for the 10 trades of Trials of X, which leads us to 2 hardcovers that are kind of, I think, the end of Trials of X, leading into Destiny of X. Inferno by Jonathan Hickman. Well, here's another guy I'm a sucker for his writing. I don't want to show too much of this because it could give some things away. The art is spectacular. Let's see. Let me get my artist right. Artist, Inferno. Okay. You have to have a chart for who the artists are? What's happening here? There are a lot of artists, but only Jonathan Hickman as the writer. So it starts out with Emma Frost wearing the helmet saying, "To me, my X-Men." If that doesn't grab you, come on, man. What are you doing reading X-Men comics? This and Domino. Ooh, Domino's in this too. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in this. I will say that you do have to remember something that happened back in Hoxpox, House of X, Powers of X, because Moira McTaggart shows up in this and spins the world topsy-turvy. It's a twist I did not see coming, and I, of course, had forgotten all about the first issue, so Freddie said go back, not first issue, Freddie said go back and read Hoxpox and figure it out, and I did, and I'm like, oh, that's why it's so amazing. Yeah, if you have a good memory of Hoxpox, if not, go back and read the Moira McTaggart stuff. This book is very, very good. I really, really enjoyed it. Big, nice hardcover. It's really great reading. And then the final book in the Trials of X era is X Lives, X Deaths of Wolverine. Now, this book had a really cool concept where Jean and the Professor are helping Professor X in the past. See if I can get to where the setup is. It's time. Okay. So Wolverine is laying down, and he has been, through the powers of Jean and Professor X, he is sent into his past incarnations because Omega Red has gone back in time to kill Professor X's father, his grandfather, his great-grandfather, whatever. Omega Red can also possess other bodies back in time, and it's Wolverine's job, through the mental capabilities of Jean and Professor X, he goes back to his various incarnations. And it's actually a very cool concept. I feel like it could have been fleshed out a little more. It seemed a little choppy to me, but he goes back to his time, and as you can see here, he thinks he's safe with her back when he was married, and Omega Red's already possessed her, so things don't end well there. So it's an extremely interesting premise, but I feel like it could have been fleshed out a little more. Some things end abruptly. Some things need a little bit more explanation. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it could have... See, here they are working on Wolverine as he's wearing the helmet to go back in time. He's got a helmet. Professor X has a helmet. Jean's just floating over him. That's cool. But as Omega Red goes back in time trying to kill various ancestors of Professor X so he doesn't exist, Wolverine's back there trying to prevent it in whatever body existed at the time. And of course, Wolverine's quite old, so it's a lot. But then we get a future Wolverine that gets possessed by himself. That doesn't look good there, does it? I'm not going to spoil it for you. Spoiler, it's not good. Ooh, and X-23 gets called in to try and help. So you can read this and enjoy it, but my only thoughts were it could have been more. There could have been a little bit fleshing out of storyline. There could have been a little bit more concise storytelling in the story they had. But all in all, I'm going to keep this book because, as you can see on the cover, he has various incarnations as himself. That's a cool concept. And in the end, I understood the concept and dug it. So yeah, I don't know, 7 out of 10 stars for this book. Inferno, 10 out of 10. The whole run for me of Trial of X, except for the adamantium surfboard, every story, every comic, every series was just perfectly interesting and engaging, and I loved it. I use the word engaging too much, but that's all I can think of. Maybe I need to go to the thesaurus and figure out some other things to say. So, all in all, Trials of X, boss series, and once it comes out, I know these trades are hard to find. Once it comes out in whatever way they decide to release it, I think you'll be really happy with Trials of X, as lots of interesting subplots and subterfuge and backstabbing and creative ways to deal with certain problematic characters. And Emma and, well, of course, all the women are badasses, but especially when Emma and Kate Pryde are badasses, that's just peak for me. And that Trials of Magneto. Yeah, Trials of Magneto. So this is Omnidog talking to you, saying thanks for watching. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. And peace and love, peace and love.